the heart of what the Beacon is, has so much to do with, you know, experiences of the past. And talking about experiences of the past is like, where did your influence come from, or where did our influence come from? So I know I talk a lot about pioneers, our first teachers, previous crews that we came up with, because all those things led to Massive Monkees. All those things led to the Beacon. We started out as a group of friends, a bunch of individuals, and that's really where like a lot of the power of the strength was, you know, a bunch of individuals coming together as just a group of friends and all collectively putting our ideas, our thoughts into creating routines, creating shows, where we're gonna go, what we're gonna do. One thing that Massive Monkees has gotten recognition for, and really like been able to recognize within ourselves outside of hearing from other folks, is y'all are super cohesive and y'all are like a family. That was very much one of our strong suits. Strong foundation, good dancers, and very close to be able to spend the amount of time, effort, and energy that it takes to really synchronize a group of people through movement, through thoughts, through ideas. Us being able to do that gave us a really dope transition or tools to use in doing performances and doing choreography and being able to display breaking in a way that is unique and original and acceptable in different types of venues and avenues, whether it's the stage, whether it's the NBA court, whether it's presenting for a corporation, whether it's doing America's Best Dance Crew on TV, whether it's choreographing with Macklemore, or using those same routines to win world championships. Pulling up to Jefferson right now, in this community center, this is a whole childhood of mixtapes and DJs coming in. This is not just a part of Massive Monkees' story, this is a part of hip hop in Seattle story. Jefferson started the after school program there, and this is where a lot of hip hop happened. In the mid-90s, into the 2000s, and even the 2010s, I think that there were still open sessions happening here. So this is where hip hop gathered. Not only that, but when folks come into town, and when folks are coming from around the world, this is pre-internet, it's like, yo, where do we find hip hop in Seattle? A lot of folks were saying, go up to Jefferson. That's where heads are at. My first experience with breaking was here, and you know, 25 years later, even more. I'm close to 30 years in this thing, like, it's still having such an impact. Or a big thing that was in our mind in 2013, or had always been in our mind since the 2000s. Like, we're always renting space, we're always getting brought to these places to teach. We're always working under organizations, different umbrellas. For us to be able to, you know, take some of the energy that was gathered under one crew under breaking, but then be able to establish a place in the community that then attracts and can provide one of many homes to other folks in other dance styles who are a part of the same community. That to me was like one of the most wonderful things. And it was also very intentional to not make it like it's Massive Monkees Studio, it's the Beacon. Like, I understand what launched it, but even a few years into it, we had all these plaques up on the walls and things like that about Massive Monkees, what we won, who we are, who we do, but how do we help share what we've been able to accomplish with other folks?
It's more really like a community space. Yes, there's dance classes, you can learn the different styles from the best teachers, really the best teachers. But more than that, you will come and you build community, you make friends, you get to come to events. And for us, it doesn't matter if you take the class or not, you can come and just hang out. We'll never, ever refuse someone on the basis of money. If someone doesn't have money to pay, it's all good. You know, we'll make it happen. It's because we see a lot of kids that it literally changed their lives. And even we don't want them to become champions. Who cares? We want them to just basically experience the culture, be influenced, and have fun.
Okay, so Mini Breaks is basically just a translation of how to introduce hip-hop and breaking to really young children. They understand everything. They understand exactly what hip-hop and breaking is about, expressing yourself, being in community, being yourself. This whole time, it's just been a really fun experience for me, kind of facilitating that.
I think it was 2013 or 2014. It was like my first house class, and I heard from my friends Massive Monkees opened their own studio, and I was like, oh, tight. I've always been following them since like Seattle Sonics Boom Squad, when they would perform during the half times, and Friday nights going to Jefferson and just like watching, and then being on the other side and being like, that's Massive Monkees. Since then, I got more connected with the community and started hosting like workshops there, using the space for rentals. One day in 2017, I just spoke to Bryson and I was like, hey Bryson, could I teach a class here? Could I teach possibly whacking here? And he was like, yeah. And that's how I got booped in. Whenever I came into that space and stepped in, and to this day, no matter what I'm going through in my day, I feel like I can just express myself, and not a lot of people have that space to just like let it all out and to feel seen and to feel supported. I have so much love for the people in the community here.
I'm bad with words, that's why I choose to dance or draw. I don't feel like I belong in a lot of places. I'm usually the person that's really quiet and reserved. So I felt comfortable there and here, and I'm okay with just chilling in the spot. And that means a lot to me, to just feel like home. I definitely want people to know Foundation and the story of where these dances come from and share the traditions. And that'll build you too, because you start connecting dots in your own life and story. You're like, oh yeah, there is a reason for everything I do too. This is my tradition. This is where this comes from. And the great thing about having a space like this, where it's not just like a commercial dance studio, don't understand that, is that they give you the space because they understand that is the journey and that's necessary.
My crew is Circle of Fire. We're like the older brothers to Massive Monkees. So back in the day, we had a house up on Beacon Hill. When we were up on Beacon Hill and we hit up Jefferson, we were frequent with Massive Monkees, and we just watched these young kids just mature and breaking. And they got so good and they got so dope. Then they opened up their dance studio. And when they opened up their dance studio, mind you, I was living in Australia at the time. So I wasn't even here in Seattle. I was gone for about 6 years and I came back. And so when I came back, these guys were here. This is what spawned out of that, was the dance community, these great dancers right here. And not only that, Massive Monkees opening up their own studio, a breaking crew opening up their own dance studio, not ballet, not contemporary, you know, not the stuff that you would see when you would try to go and teach at these studios and they don't have respect for your style or culture. So when I came back, I was just like, yo, I'm hella down to teach a class. I just want everybody to have fun and to vibe and to get stronger as a dancer. Health-wise, dance is medicine.
It wasn't gonna last. Even without the pandemic, the Beacon wasn't going to last at that space. Things weren't sustainable there. High amount of rent, not a lot of support, no support basically from the previous landlord.
The primary thing was the pandemic. Like, without being able to hold public spaces, what are we doing holding an event venue and dance classes? And I guess some other things that also helped make that decision were just some of the limitations, mostly around sound and what we're able to do in hours of operation, because we had tenants above us. The noise thing, very understandably, like, we're having a dance party. That's exactly what's happening, and you can hear it. I mean, we pump like 10 grand or more into insulation in the ceiling, just trying to like really buffer the sound in between them so that we can have more freedom to operate later. These dance styles, a lot of these come from like a party scene or a club scene. For folks to be able to really immerse themselves in the feeling or the vibe of what that is, we've got to create that atmosphere.
When the Beacon closed, I felt that sense of loss and grief of what's been happening with our city, with gentrification, with folks that were born and raised here, needing to leave.
I got a glimpse of how hard it could possibly be to have that space open and try to manage that and try to run it and make sure it stayed open. So I was also kind of relieved that they were able to take a breather. Because burnout is all too real in nonprofit work or working, you know, for causes like this. But the funny thing is, we saw how important it was during the pandemic because everybody needed something to do. right? And maybe that's what we really need to realize is like all this other stuff doesn't really matter. You should be doing stuff to really work on yourself, work for your soul, work to express, and those things will actually connect you to other folks and build community too.
You asked me how was it during those interim years. It was like the pandemic. We couldn't even have been open anyway. But honestly, for myself inside, I was like, man, I'm fucking tired and this is tough. And, you know, I don't know if this is gonna be sustainable for this many years. Everything that happened in like the years that we're here, those 7, 8 years, like magical.
And so when things start to open up a little more, like I will wake up in the morning thinking about the beacon. It happened like 3 days in a row, a week, 2 weeks. It would not be a day without me thinking about the beacon and like what it would take to bring it back, you know. I went to see Bryson after maybe 3 months of thinking about it. He said if it's not a loan, he'd be open to. From the get-go, I got a real estate agent or someone, and then it's like, okay, find us all the space that are for rent, and then we'll go visit. I'm not gonna lie, we visited over 50 spaces. Slowly after that, we met with Rod, and Rod was like, he's been in the crew for a very long time too, and he's been doing his whole career and being pretty successful in real estate, being a general contractor and all. And so it became, this group of 3 of us to find this space. It took over 2 years. And honestly, when you walk to the space at first, it's hard to see the potential. It was like this antique furniture store, like hella old. It helped like having people like kind of like visionary and Bryson and Rod, like, oh, we can do this, we can do that. And
Couldn't do it without community support. The city and these community organizations have always been such a huge help. Ever since the inception with Storefront Seattle and Shun Pike at the old space, all the way to shutting down, getting support while shut down, and then to reopening. We needed new floors, sound, music, get some plumbing done in the bathroom. And so all those things are back to where it's at. And then when we got in and we built it out, we did it pretty quickly. We threw an event and then we launched at the end of 2022. And as soon as we relaunched, it was like the community was right back in.
I arrived a little bit after, maybe 30 minutes after doors opened. I heard the music. It wasn't super loud, but like as I came closer, I saw like lights flashing. Just walking in and seeing that, it was like, whoa.
So I just put myself down and started dancing right away.
It really looked like everybody kind of just took a deep breath and like, whoa, we're home. We're back.
I'm so proud of my brothers, Massive Monkees, being able to open up the studio again. Whatever the support that I can give and the community can give so we can keep this spot open, I'm down, even if it has to do with donations to keep the doors open, in which they have no problems now because there's a lot of support and there's so much love from the community.
The arts is so healing, and spaces like this, like the Beacon, are so critical for so much of our well-being, for so much of our joy. To be able to be vulnerable with someone in a space where you feel safe enough to do so, it builds connection, trust, and we need that because we're all human and everyone deserves that.
One thing that really doesn't vanish from Seattle really is like, if we're talking about spaces, we're talking about spaces, but if we're talking about community, we're talking about community. It wasn't gone in 2020. Like, it wasn't gone because folks are still doing what we were doing in the space. The important thing about what's happening here doesn't stop happening, with a particular space. It's the community that keeps that going. The underlying thing is like the love for whatever it is that brought everybody together in the first place. It still stays true.